Fighting rocked several cities in western Sudan as the country's almost 2-month-old war continues to intensify. A regional governor was even killed after publicly blaming the deaths of civilians on the country's paramilitary force. West Darfur State Governor Khamis Abbakar was killed on Wednesday hours after he accused the RSF and allied militias of genocide. No details of his death were available. Two government sources said that the RSF was responsible. The conflict between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces or the RSF has caused a humanitarian crisis in Khartoum as well as major cities in the Kordofan and Darfur regions. The widening footprint of fighting threatens to prolong the violence and draw in armed groups, particularly those with tribal affiliations as well as external actors. Activists have informed that 1,100 people have been killed since the conflict began in mid-April in the westernmost city of El Geneina, the capital of West Darfur. The Darfur region of Sudan has seen periods of conflict since the early 2000s when millions were displaced and 300,000 killed by attacks from Arab militias known as the Janjaweed. The RSF evolved out of those groups, becoming a legalized governmental force in 2017. Diplomatic efforts to address Sudan's conflict led by the United States and Saudi Arabia have faltered as numerous ceasefires have been violated. On Tuesday, senior US State Department officials said that they were considering a new approach for the coming days. The Darfur Bar Association, a local group monitoring the fighting, said on Wednesday that artillery strikes hit civilian homes in Nyala, which is the capital of South Darfur, after RSF soldiers complained of not receiving salaries. The association said that the city of Zalingay, which is the capital of Central Darfur, was under siege. Meanwhile, in El Obeid, a hub between Khartoum and Darfur in North Kordofan, residents said that the army launched air and artillery strikes against RSF positions. The RSF has controlled the roads connecting the city to other towns and has agreed with local tribal leaders to secure the area from armed gangs. Residents said that the RSF attacked one of those towns, Al-Rahad, on Wednesday. In Kadugli of South Kordofan, the army pushed back an RSF attack on one of its bases. Within Khartoum, residents reported clashes and air and artillery strikes in the southern and eastern districts of the city and in neighboring Omdurman on Wednesday. The UN said on Tuesday that some 1.7 million people have been displaced internally and more than 500,000 had left the country. Meanwhile, in army-controlled Port Sudan, middle school students began taking examinations while pilgrims to Mecca began their Hajj journeys as some attempted to find some normality. The Sudanese Doctors Union said that at least 958 people have been killed since fighting began on April 15th over the integration of the RSF into the military.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.